Oh, look at that. I'm back in a forest on a glorious sunny day with a scattering of snow. And it's not just any old forest. I'm back in Sherwood Forest, guys. Yes! I haven't been here since before Christmas, and this will be my first vlog in Sherwood Forest too. There'll be many more to come in the future. But it's one of my favourite places to come and photograph. Welcome back to the channel though, and I hope you're all doing really well. Now today there's two really important things I want to achieve. Number one, so the most important thing, is to just go out, have a nice walk around here, re-familiarise myself with this beautiful forest, and just have a nice time. And number two is to get some great photos. Now, notice how I say number two is to get great photos? That's because for me, the most important thing is just enjoying myself. And obviously, yes, it's nice to get some good photos as well. But I think if you go out and enjoy yourself, you're actually more likely to come back with some nice photos that you're happy with. So the main focus of today, with the scattering of snow, is to photograph what Sherwood Forest is probably most famous for, besides being where Robin Hood used to hide out with his merry gang. It's to photograph the ancient oaks. Honestly, there's some really amazing, gnarly looking trees here, and I've not really photographed here in the winter, and I think today is going to be great because we've got some nice side light coming in from the sun because it's quite low, it's still winter, and we've got a bit of snow on the trees. And I've already found a tree that I want to photograph. Check out this bad boy behind me here. Let me just focus on that. Look at that. I'll zoom in a bit for you. Oh, spectacular. So I'm going to set up and get on with this photo that I think is going to look really nice. I'm going to set up now. Oh, it's taken me about half an hour to set up. I've been moving forwards, backwards, left, right, diagonally, and I've gone full circle. I've ended up with the exact same composition, pretty much as the first one that I'd set up. And yeah, it's taken me a while, but I don't really mind that. It was quite fun trying out different sort of angles and stuff like that. But this is the one that works best. Now, what's really important with woodland photography is thinking about what you actually don't want to include in the frame. So for example, this could be twigs, certain trees that you're not too happy with, or the sky. And one of the ways you can kind of do this is to pre-visualize how you're going to edit the photo. So you could look at a composition in sort of in the field and think, oh, I'm probably going to crop that out, or I'll clone that out in post. And then also you can do it in the field, which is like what I like to try and do. So if you're not quite happy with your composition and there's something in the way that you're not too happy with, just move your camera. At first, very tiny amounts, like millimeters, up, down, left, right, whatever, or move backwards and forwards, and it can really help your image, even just by moving a fraction of a millimeter. And with me, I've got a prime lens on as well, so I physically have to move backwards and forwards. I can't zoom in and out. So that's an added sort of thing to think about with a prime lens. But I quite like that because I think it helps me learn about compositional techniques without just having to zoom, if that makes sense. So I can get to a scene and think, right, I've got this prime lens on, so I need to be there, or I need to be over there, or here to get the composition I like. So yeah, I hope that helps you guys with your woodland, or just, you know, any sort of photography really. Now, this image, I've just taken a photo by accident. Essentially, I have gone for the sort of emphasis shots, that's what I like to call them, where this gnarly old beautiful oak tree is slap bang in the middle of the photo, and I've got it in portrait orientation as well. And yeah, what's really nice about here is that this big old oak tree is kind of in its own clearing, which means that there's not too much in the way of it. So what I was talking about earlier with eliminating things from the frame, I didn't have to worry about it too much, but which was nice. But the one thing I must say I don't particularly like are, let's see if I can point at it. It's really hard to point with when I'm looking at the screen here. There you go, these two trees here. Because this one, it kind of leads up and kind of overlaps with our oak tree. But I can't do anything about that. And I'm absolutely, that's fine. So I don't mind leaving it in the image. Now, one thing I must say is, please, if you're doing woodland photography and you've got some twigs in the way or a little tree, don't try and break them down. Don't snap any twigs or push trees over if you can, because, well, it's just destructive, isn't it? And it's not how nature intended the woodland to look, so just leave it. Right, so settings. I am on ISO 100. It's nice and sunny. I don't have to worry about bumping that up. I've got my tripod, that's fine. I'm on F11 to get everything in focus, and I've actually underexposed the image bar stop just because we're getting quite a lot of the sky in, which I don't normally like with woodland photography, but I think it'll be fine for this shot. It's just, if I was to expose it how the camera wanted, it might blow out the sky. I could do a HDR shot and bracket the image, but I don't think it needs that necessarily, because in post-processing you can pull a lot of detail out from the darker areas more so than the lighter areas. And I think when we go back into Lightroom, this is going to look quite good. So I'll take the photo and I'll put it up for you to have a look. And we're going to carry on and look for some more of these really cool oak trees. And hopefully there might be a bit more snow on the ground near some of the ones in the more towards the centre of the forest. But if not, they're still going to look amazing. Right, I'll take the photo. Guys, I was just filming a bit of B-roll and a little robin came and landed on a little, he's gone now, but he came and landed on a twig, on a little branch I was filming. It was really, really cute. I'll put a bit of footage of him up here for you to have a look at. Onwards! So I've been to Sherwood Forest on countless occasions in the past, and the trees here just never fail to surprise me with how beautiful, gnarly and old they are. Oh, it's amazing. I just honestly feel like I'm in the middle of a Lord of the Rings novel every time I come here. These big old oak trees remind me of the Ents, I think they're called, the massive tree creatures in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And this one over here, this tree over here, caught my eye as I was walking through the woods. Basically, these branches here, some of the branches have like kind of snapped off and fallen down, and when I was in the woods over there, it just looked like a big hand was put like down on the floor, the forest floor. And the reason it caught my eye so much as well is because it's covered in snow, which is really nice. So I've set up, and as I was trying to figure out how to compose this image, there are a few things which I kind of had to be aware of. So just behind the tree on this side here is another branch that's fallen off going back down, and what I didn't want that to do is lead our eyes out of the frame. So essentially I've made sure that that whole branch is in the image, that whole branch there, meaning that your eyes go from the left of the image up, down and over to the right, which I just think is quite a natural sort of way for your eyes to follow through an image. So if you think about like a play, the lead act or the hero always enters from the left and exits on the right, and like if we're reading a book, we read from left to right. So I just think it's much more natural when you look at an image for your eyes to be led from the left over to the right. So that's what I've done there. And there's another thing I quite like about this image as well, is the fact that on the floor just in front of me here, there's like a little path leading up to it, which I'm guessing it's just where people have been interested in this tree and walked up to have a look, and over the years it's kind of created this little path, and it helps just create a little leading line. Whoa, what's that? Leading line up through the... Oh wow! Bird of prey just gone over my head. I'm not sure. It was too fast. I didn't catch a glimpse of it. Anyway, wow. Honestly, I've seen so much wildlife here today. It's beautiful. I've seen quite a few woodpeckers as well, which is nice. And I've heard their classic knocking on the woods. Anyway, so yeah, this image, it's got like a nice leading line going up to the tree. So again, like I did with my first image, I've underexposed this by a stop just because I'm getting a little bit of the sky in and I don't want that to be blown out. And I can recover the shadows in post. Every now and then as well, we're getting a nice bit of side light come on to the tree, which is happening now. So I'm going to take the photo now actually, while I can. I'm on ISO 100 f11, you know, pretty standard. I'm on a 50th of a second. Let's take the photo. 2-second timer on. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. So there's one more photo I want to take today, and I'm going to head over towards this particular tree I've got in mind. It's a very famous tree. If you know about Sherwood Forest, you probably know what tree I'm going to take photo of. Let's head over there now. So I'm almost at my last stop of the day. Now that last photo you saw was from a different angle of that last tree, obviously, and I think it looks a lot nicer. I don't think I'm going to get any more today. The conditions haven't been amazing. The lighting was really harsh earlier. It's been a bit flat as well. Quite happy with the photos I've taken, but I think with some better conditions, with like fog or more snow, would have been better. It is snowing now, by the way, if you can't tell, but I'm going to head back after this next stop because I don't want to ruin any of my equipment. My lens isn't weather sealed. So, oh, by the way, remember what I said earlier about my number one priority was going out and enjoying myself, and I've definitely done that. I've had a thoroughly enjoyable day, which is great. That is the main priority. So my last stop is this bad boy here. Look at that, put him in focus for you. That is Major Oak. Now if you're from around here, or you've been here before, you will have probably seen this. It's very famous and it's a bit of a tourist attraction. This tree is thought to be between 800 and 1,100 years old, which is absolutely insane. That means that this tree was here during the Battle of Hastings, Agincourt, through the births and deaths of Henry VIII and William Shakespeare, and I did a little bit of research, and this tree has been here while 50 monarchs have sat on a throne, 50 different monarchs, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to take a photo. Obviously, it's going to be quite a tricky photo. It's not going to be the best photo. It's all barriered off and it's got these poles supporting it, which I'm fine with because I'd rather it be kept alive than people go and absolutely ruin it. It's going to be more of like a holiday snapshot, and I think that's absolutely fine to do, by the way. If you're out and there's a chance for you to lock in that memory of the day, even if it's not going to be like an award-winning photograph, just do it, because, you know, even if no one else sees it, you can go back and look at it and it will secure that memory for you. So I'm going to take this and then I'm going to head back to my car after a bite to eat and a nice cup of coffee. Now, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I've thoroughly enjoyed making it. It's been absolutely brilliant being back here in Sherwood Forest. God, I love it so much. If you liked it, just consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. And as always, stay safe and see you later.